Traditional industrial organizations have hit a mathematical ceiling. The rigid, concrete hierarchies that scaled the 20th century are now the structures throttling output. Bridging the gap requires a fluid network. Look at these structural deficits: a 30% price disadvantage and a 25% lag in time to market. These are systemic failures. You cannot close a gap this wide with marginal optimization. The underlying value streams require a complete architectural redesign. Escaping this bottleneck requires migrating from a human-constrained hierarchy to a new model, the AI-native firm. Many executives hesitate here, paralyzed by the belief that domestic industries have already lost the technology race to hyperscalers in the US and China. Treating this as a race to build better artificial intelligence models is a strategic error. Escaping the structural trap actually requires ignoring that underlying arms race completely. Industrial survival does not depend on catching up in foundation model research. It depends on rewriting the operational rules of your own enterprise. Massive compute power and foundational large language models are no longer proprietary competitive advantages. They are highly capitalized, widely available commodity fuel. On the left is the global standard: massive GPU clusters, huge datasets, and billions in capital to train foundation models. On the right is our structural advantage. The industrial Mittelstand possesses deep domain knowledge, proprietary data, and physical engineering expertise. Injecting commodity AI models with this hyper-specific engineering data creates an operational moat no generic software company can breach. This is leapfrogging. We bypass the base layer research phase and move directly to dominating the application layer, scaling industrial, physical AI. Licensing existing open source or commercial models to drive these localized applications requires a fraction of the capital and delivers immediate operational leverage. The highest strategic return on investment exists strictly at this intersection, where commodity digital models meet your proprietary physical value streams. On this maturity curve, the horizontal line is the baseline of human processing capacity. Stage 1 is the corporate baseline, hard-capped by humans, generating isolated efficiency, but failing to transform the broader enterprise structure. Giving an individual engineer a faster drafting tool does not solve upstream supply chain friction or downstream logistics. The human remains the critical bottleneck in the overall workflow. The mathematical inflection point happens right here, where the effective IQ and synthetic mind curves break violently past the human baseline. Reaching this point requires AI to transition from a passive tool into an active, systemic participant. To achieve exponential scaling, the technological burden must shift. Actions are no longer initiated by human prompts, but executed by automated system triggers. A definitive operational advantage is only secured at this threshold, moving from a human-augmented workforce to a fully autonomous system. This brings us to Stage 3, the agentic enterprise, where multi-agent AI networks execute complex workflows without manual supervision. The ultimate destination is Stage 4, a fully cognitive organization driven by a deeply integrated AI layer. In this final stage, artificial intelligence functions as the foundational operating system of the firm. This architecture forms a synthetic mind. It actively routes, processes, and executes both the digital and physical core tasks of the enterprise simultaneously. Housing this synthetic mind requires replacing departmental silos with a structure of specialized functional pillars designed to feed data directly into this core. This blueprint is the Edge Team's operating system, 7 pillars of autonomous value creation. Engineering and manufacturing AI govern factory output. Sales and sourcing balance market logistics. HR and legal manage compliance. At the apex, control AI orchestrates them, dictating enterprise strategy. Data flows upward from the observing edge agents to the central control node with zero friction, updating the firm's operational status instantly. Compare this instantaneous cross-pillar processing with the latency of delayed management meetings, siloed corporate email threads, and sluggish quarterly reports. This precise 7-pillar architecture is the physical mechanism that enables a massive, complex industrial firm to react and adapt as a single intelligent organism. With the structural architecture in place, the strategic focus shifts entirely to the kinetic speed of your operations. The strategic value of the cognitive enterprise is absolute decision dominance. Dominance is measured by the OODA loop: observe, orient, decide, act. Observe and orient continuously ingest global market data, cross-referencing proprietary engineering limits. Then, the control AI executes decide and act, instantly firing strategic protocols down to the edge agents. This synthetic loop processes at microsecond speeds. A legacy competitor relies on human-driven committees that take weeks to observe a problem, let alone act on it. The primary law of competition is unforgiving. The enterprise that navigates its OODA loop the fastest dictates the terms of the market. That 25% time-to-market gap we saw earlier does not stay static. Trapped in manual decision cycles, legacy competitors will watch that deficit compound exponentially. By the time a traditional firm has finished organizing a meeting to observe a market shift, the AI-native firm has already deployed a solution, forcing the legacy firm to restart its loop from a further disadvantage. This autonomous paradigm elevates the mandate for C-level executives and senior engineers. Leadership must stop managing daily operational friction. Your time is now exclusively dedicated to designing the strategic parameters of the value streams themselves. Deep engineering expertise is no longer wasted on manual problem-solving. Instead, it is weaponized to strictly train, guide, and constrain these specialized agentic platforms. This is a fully realized, frictionless industrial ecosystem, a network built not on isolated tasks, but on continuous, intelligent action. Mastering the application layer and engineering an autonomous OODA loop is the definitive playbook for the Mittelstand to secure global operational dominance.